teaching Mandarin Chinese. The American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Language, also known as ACTFL, already identified national standards for foreign language education. There are 5 standards according to ACTFL. These 5 standards including communications, cultures, connections, comparisons, and communities. The first standard, communication. In this standard, basically is aimed at students' ability to engage in target language conversing, not just for the exchange of information, but also for the expression of emotions. The format of communication is not limited to verbal communication, but including reading and writing of the variety of aspects in the community. The second standard is culture. The culture's aspect is focused on gaining knowledge and understanding of other cultures. This standard focuses on the understanding of the relationship between product and the perspective, and also the relationship between products and the perspective of the culture studied. It is clear that teaching a language of a culture is not just introduce the practice and the products of a culture, but it is necessary to put this practice and the products into the context of the culture. The third standard is connections. Connections emphasize on connecting with other subjects and acquire information. Language cannot isolate from other disciplines. Languages will serve better when it is applied to daily activities to increase the understanding of other subjects. Therefore, language teaching is required to help students make connections to other subjects. Standard number 4, comparison. This standard focuses on developing insight into the nature of the language and the culture. Through the comparison of the language studied and the student's native language, students will develop comprehensive understanding of the studied language and the culture. The last standard, or standard number 5, is communities. The goal of this standard is to involve students in multilingual communities at home and around the world. The ultimate goal for a student to learn a new language is not just passing a class or participate in activities teachers design in classrooms. Students are expected to apply their learned new language in the communities and become lifelong learners, not just within the scope of their native language, but expand their perspectives into the work community. Now, let's take a look or listen to the following Mandarin Chinese lesson. This lesson is about going to places with different transportation vehicles. The following slides include only grammar section of this lesson. The lesson information. This lesson is designed for Chinese 3 classes. The objectives of this lesson. For the interpretive objectives, the student will learn to name various transportation vehicles. The interpersonal aspect, the student will be able to converse about going to places with appropriate transportation tools. The presentational objectives, students will present to classes verbally about usage of transportation in their respective family members. Grammar, 文法，怎么means how to. 怎么 can come with the verb. 怎么去 means how to go. 怎么喝 means how to drink. 怎么写 means how to write. 怎么去 can come with a location. How to go to a location. 怎么去学校 is school. 怎么去学校 means how to go to school. Mall 百货公司。怎么去百货公司 means how to go to the mall. Supermarket 超市。怎么去超市 means how to go to the supermarket. Bookstore is 书局 or 书店。怎么去书局 means how to go to a bookstore. Restaurant is 餐厅。怎么去餐厅 Do you know what does that mean? It means how to go to a restaurant. Movie theater 电影院。怎么去电影院 I know you know what does that mean. It means how to go to a movie theater. Locations. Okay, let's take a look of the handout. And these are the locations you need to remember. And you can apply all of these locations into the sentence pattern we just learned. Verb 动词 Let's work on the notebook. Write down all the verbs we already learned from the previous lessons. One of the particular verbs for this lesson is 骑. 骑 means riding. It is the verb for transportations like a bicycle, motorcycles, and a horse, and other animals. 脚踏车 脚踏车 means bicycle. Riding a bicycle means 骑脚踏车。摩托车 is a motorcycle. Do you know how to say ride a motorcycle? I know you are very smart. Yes, that's correct. Riding a motorcycle means 骑摩托车。马 is horse. Of course, you know how to say ride on the bike, horse in Chinese. That's 骑马。搭 is another verb for this lesson. 搭 means taking a transportation of any kind. It can be car, trucks, airplanes, or train. But when you are using 搭 as vehicle, means you are the one taking it, but not the one operating it. 车子 means car. 搭车 means riding on a car or taking a car. Truck is 卡车 or 大货车。搭卡车 or 搭大货车 means you are taking a truck. 飞机 is airplane. 搭飞机 means you are taking an airplane. Train is 火车。搭火车 means you are taking a train. Bus is 公共汽车 or 公车。When you say 搭公车 means you are taking a bus. 从 A 到 B is from A to B, indicating the distance from A to B, but it is not limited to distance between two locations. It can be interval of times. Distance between locations. The sentence pattern. 从家到学校 From home to school. 家 is home. 学校 is school. From home to school. 从家到学校。从学校到图书馆。学校 is school. 图书馆 is library. From school to library. 从学校到图书馆。Interval between times. 星期一到星期五。星期一 is Monday. 星期五 is Friday. 从星期一到星期五 means from Monday to Friday. 从上午7点 到下午4点。上午 means a.m. 7点 is 7 o'clock. 上午7点 means 7 o'clock a.m. 下午 means afternoon. 4点 means 4 o'clock. 下午4点 means 4 p.m. 从上午7点到下午4点 means from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Challenges. Are you ready for challenges? Can you translate this sentence from the English to Chinese? I walk from home to school. I walk from home to school. What do you have? Do you say 我从家走路到学校？我从家走路到学校。Walk is 走路。Home is 家。School is 学校。So you should say 我走路从家到学校。The challenge number 2. I study from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I studied from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Did you write down your answer? Did you say 我从上午10点读书到上午11点 Study is 读书。10点 is 上午10点 is 10 a.m. 11 a.m. is 上午11点。So you should say 我从上午10点读书到上午11点。Discussions. Let's think about the following questions, and later we will have a group discussion. How does this lesson reflect 5 C's of the foreign language teaching? How does the lesson reflect the standard of communication? How does this lesson reflect standard of culture, or connections, or comparisons, or communities? And you can also think about, does each lesson need to cover all 5 C standards? How do we make it better when considering communication? What else can we do to make a better connection with the culture, with the connections, with the comparison between the cultures and the languages, and considering the communities?